trickiest part of this whole thing is going to be, I don't know if you can see down in here. You can see the channel there. That is the seal that must go on the bottom, the very bottom of the windshield. Let's see if I can get a better angle at it. So there's the paint, and then there's the very bottom lip of the windshield, right there where my fingertip is. So that channel has got to go up under the glass, or seat onto the glass. This is going to be a challenge. It may not go as easy. Definitely won't go as easy. Okay. Regroup. Gotta regroup. So after, I would say, a couple of hours of struggling with this stupid cowling, what I've decided to do is this seal I've completely separated from the cowling, and I'm going to try to slide this seal on to the windshield first and then get the cowling to pop onto the seal. That seal actually comes off of this cowling really simply. There you can see the plastic rib that it literally just kind of pops right up on that. Let's see if I can show you here from the side. So there's the end of that plastic rib, and then it just, if I get that rubber out of the way, see, it just pushes right on there. So I just took a screwdriver, pried it off, and now I'm going to slide this seal under the windshield. See how it fits down into this groove here. I don't know if I can get enough light for you to see this. It fits down into that groove just like that, and then it forms your seal. So I'm gonna push the seal in all the way around the windshield, and then I'm gonna see if I can pop the cowling up here into the groove. Well, that definitely seemed to be the way to go, is to take the seal off the cowling, put the seal onto the windshield, and then pop the cowling onto the seal. Once you get these wiper arm studs lined up with this cowling, the thing just pressed right into place, and you can feel it snapping into the seal, and it's good and secure. You know, I got like no wiggle here at the top, so I'm gonna call that part good. I'll pour some water on this windshield, I guess, and see if I get any water down here in this blower motor compartment, and if not, then I'm not going to mess with it. Next step is going to be putting the wiper arms back on, and the rest of this is pretty simple. I didn't mark this stuff. I'm just kind of eyeballing by the dirty marks on the windshield. I think that should get me close enough. And if not, it won't be the first thing that I've had to do a couple of times on this car. The torque on these calls for 22 foot-pounds. 22 foot-pounds on an inch-pound wrench. 11 foot-pounds, which is what the intake bolts were 11 foot-pounds is 132 inch-pounds. It's 22, so take 132 times 2 is 264. Got my torque wrench set there. You can see it's just a click, 2 clicks past 240. Each click on this torque wrench is 12 inch-pounds or 1 foot-pound. So, and I think most are fairly similar. Yeah, I'm one of those double click guys, sue me. I've got to put this seal back on. This is a seal that there's a lower piece here that didn't come off with this cowl, and it kind of seals up that cowl and metal structural piece. Some old tape, I don't even know why I'm messing with it. Because the BMW original is probably worth $1 million. This seal is a lot easier to manipulate than that other one. Well, you go with the white mark in the middle before you get too far with this. Okay, over here, there's one last washer connection. This guy right here. And I'm not going to zip tie this one because this one's really easy to get to if it leaks so well. Make sure we put this cap like on this trouble spot here so I don't lose it. So this next piece to go on is the lower housing, I guess, for the microfilter, cabin microfilter. And when I had put that starter on, I thought this was the worst thing ever to install and remove. It's pretty simple once you've done it a couple times. The main trick to this is, you see there's a tab right here. This has got to go up and under this seal. Alright, so I know I didn't show it that good, but you know, you see with that thing, it's just a I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of a matter of just getting it lined up. So you see over here, I pulled it back, there's a little gap. And then over here, well, I just redo the whole thing. You see here, there's a white mark on the gasket and there's a raised mark there on the plastic. Pretty well line those up. And then there's tabs over there. There's a tab there. And then there's, you can see the tab here. Keep your center marks lined up. And you start easing the sides up. You make sure that they're under the gasket. Same thing with the piece in the middle. Just kind of push down on it. See where I'm pushing with my hand? And it's the one in the middle right here. You gotta manipulate it from this side and here. You push it down, and once it goes under that seal, you just kind of wiggle it, snug it up, and then that's it. There, you can see here this end of the gasket. It is still up here where it needs to be, and you can see pieces of this gasket, and you can feel it here as you go along. Because again, this gasket is part of this watertight sealing system that BMW has. So now I'm going to put all these wires back in their looms. There are two bolts I almost always forget about. Yes, and I do have the manual, so I would have caught it sooner or later. There's a 10mm bolt that goes here on this side, and then an identical one over here.